Today, we will be simulating up to the trade deadline and reviewing some of the deals along the way. We'll also be playing against Mr. Zion Williamson in the new-look New York Knicks. And oh yeah, Zubats is back. So, rebounding. Yeah, we're going to try to start doing that. Anyway, welcome back everybody to episode 15 of the Louisville Badgers. Like I said, today we're going to be simulating some games up to the Knicks game. We're going to be playing those New York Knicks, and then after that, we're also going to simulate up to the trade deadline, and also we're going to take a look at some of the deals that, could go down before the trade deadline, but I want to get you guys' feedback on some of that stuff. Anyway, I want to also say real quick, sorry it's been quite a few days since the last upload. I actually had this whole episode recorded and everything, but I went away for the weekend with my daughter. But we're back. We're going to be getting uploads out a lot more frequently, hopefully here in the very near future. So, definitely stay tuned for that. Stick with me here, and we will definitely be getting some more stuff out. However, our next game is going to be a very, very exciting one, because we are going to play this January 4th game against the New York Knicks, who are 10-9 at the moment. We'll see how they're doing by the time we get to this game, but we're going to simulate up to this game and have the New York Knicks come to town, come to Louisville, along with Kevin Durant, Jimmy Butler, and Zion. And we'll see how we fare against the new-look New York Knicks. But for now, we're going to simulate up until that point. So, we'll start off with the 11-8 Orlando Magic. See how we do against them. And we lose by 9. See how it went. So, Wagner led the team in scoring with 22 points, 4 rebounds. He had 2 steals also. He was 1 for 8 from 3, though, so he was taking a lot of shots. I don't know why Wagner would be taking that many shots in a game. 19. He outshot everybody. Next up, we've got the Bulls, who beat us in the first 2 contests we played against them. Let's see how we do this time. And we lose again by 9. Let's see here. Jaren Jackson, 22 points. Brook Lopez showing up big off the bench with 16 points. Next up, we got the Pelicans, who we beat on opening night, 105-88. Let's see how we do against them this time. They are 11-8, and we lose by 21. Let's see. Jaren Jackson with 20, Morant with 15 points, 10 assists, 4 steals, and a block. Good game from him. Next up, we got the Jazz, and they beat us by 27. See here, Nasir Little, the rookie, putting up 31 points on us. Man, John Morant with 26 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. Jaren Jackson with 22 points and 10 rebounds. Next up, the Celtics, who are 15-10, so they're actually doing a little bit better than the 6-8 that we saw them at last time. So they've been 9-2 since that point, and they beat us by 35. Kyrie and Anthony Davis once again doing their thing. Jaren Jackson, John Morant, Brook Lopez for us. Next up, the Heat on a back-to-back. Can't imagine we win a back-to-back, but let's see. And we lose by 2. So it wasn't a bad game. And for us, it was Jaren Jackson and John Morant once again. All right, and then we got 3 days rest, and then we go up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. All right, so Zubats has fully healed. Now, as far as Zubats goes, I think I want to kind of work him back into the rotation as opposed to just throwing him back into the starting role right away. So now we can move on to the T-Wolves game. They are 18-8, so they're having themselves a really good season. And they beat us by 21, so let's take a look at this one. Wiggins and Towns with a good game. Jackson Jr. and Morant again with a good game. But this was actually an all-around good effort. Next up, we got a really tough Milwaukee team. And we lose to them by 23. Let's see here. Jaren Jackson and John Morant once again our top scorers. Giannis, 36 points, 13 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals, 5 blocks. Next up, we got the Jazz again. I'm going to try to speed through a few of these here. And we beat them. It's a 19-point win, so our first win in a while there. Jaren Jackson with 23, 15, and 3. Morant, 17 points, 4 assists, 4 steals again. So his steal totals just through the roof lately. Sacramento up next. They're 10-18, and we beat them 112-84. So, wow. What a defensive couple of games for us, man. Very, very good defense in the last couple of games. Jaren Jackson and Ja Morant showing up big once again. On the other side, Marvin Bagley and De'Aaron Fox having a decent game. Next up, we got the Washington Wizards. This is a second game of a back-to-back, so it's going to be a tough one, and we lose by 4. John Wall puts up 26. For us, it was Bryn Forbes and Jaren Jackson. So coming up, we got 2 days off and then a Detroit Pistons game. And we lose to the Pistons by 17. Let's take a look. Morant led us in scoring with 20 points, 6 assists, 3 steals. Blake Griffin with 33 points, Mike Conley with 20. Next up, the Pacers, who are having themselves a good year, and they beat us. Wow. High-scoring game here. Maybe an OT. No, not even an OT game. Just a very high-scoring game. Jaren Jackson with 22 points, 5 boards. Morant with 16.7 assists and 3 steals. He seems like he's just getting like 3 or 4 steals a night like it's nothing. Next up, Charlotte. And we lose to Charlotte by 17. Jaren Jackson and Ja Morant, both with a very good game for us. All right, so we're getting closer to that January 4th Knicks game, which will be televised on NBA TV. And we beat the Heat by 14. And Morant leads us in scoring with 26 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, a block. And then our last game before our January 4th meeting with the New York Knicks will be the second game of a back-to-back against the LA Clippers. Let's see how we do. And we lost by 8. Jaren Jackson, Brook Lopez, and Ja Morant all had a good game for us. So now that brings us to the New York Knicks game. And they are 20-15 at this point. And oh man. So Zubats just came off an injury. I still had him kind of on load management. I only had him playing 14 minutes per game. And he bruises his left hip. So he's back out again. I hope this doesn't become like a narrative throughout the entire season here where he's just, continuously injured. But we're going to go ahead and adjust our rotation. All right, so I think we are as ready as we are going to be to face Zion, Jimmy Butler, and Kevin Durant and the rest of the New York Knicks here on January 4th on NBA TV. I'm definitely, ready for the challenge. They're 21-15. We're 8-28. Let's take a look at the matchups. They got Dennis Smith Jr., Jimmy Butler, Kevin Durant, Zion Williamson, and Dwight Howard. So one starter left over from last season, and that is Dennis Smith Jr. So they got a hell of a team going here. And we, on the other end, have Ja Morant, Bryn Forbes, Danny Green, Jaren Jackson, and Mo Wagner going for us today. So it's going to be a decent matchup, but it is definitely going to be tough. It is going to be very, very tough. But let's hop right into it.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
It's time for the NBA, live on 2K Sports. With David Aldridge on our sideline, and here with me, Greg Anthony and Steve Smith. This is Kevin Harlan. Looking at the last game for the New York Knicks, it was a win against Chicago.
So here we are, a tip-off against the New York Knicks team that, by all accounts, looks like the real deal at this point. I mean, they got a decent record. They've got a really scary big three in Zion, Jimmy Butler, and, of course, Kevin Durant. They've also added Dwight Howard to that mix, and, of course, they already had Dennis Smith Jr., so I mean, it's a whole new lineup for these guys with the exception of Smith. And, man, I got to tell you, it really, up to this point, looks like things are going pretty well for them. I mean, they're up there in the power rankings. They've got a decent record. I'm sure that they're, working out some chemistry issues at the moment. But, still, things are looking pretty good for them for the future. And, I mean, they seem like they've got a really strong team who can really kind of hit you quick and, go up pretty big before you even realize it. But anyway, I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking in this one because, like I said before in last episode, you guys seem to really enjoy me just giving you the live commentary, the way it went down as I recorded it live, as I was playing the game. So instead of making you guys wait any longer for that, we're going to hop right into it, and I'm going to pass it over to myself live here late in the first quarter going into the second. Off the miss. I honestly feel like we play our best ball in transition. All right. Got to contain him here. Gonna try to tie. There we go. The steal. Let's try to tie this thing up. Oh, with the touchdown pass to Avery Bradley. Let's go. All right, it's all tied up now. Time to do big things here. We gotta try to get a lead here, man. This is definitely a tough team so far. Definitely rough. And Avery Bradley with the green light. That's what we need to see. All right, starting off the second quarter with a 1-point lead here. Ed Davis inbounding it to Porter Jr. See what he's got. No, whoa, what happened there? Michael Porter had a wide open lane. My goodness. All right, no biggie, no biggie. So a couple lead changes so far already. Let's see what we got here. All right, we need some movement, boys. Come on. Let's get this play running. There we go. He's open. Bang. Young Baisley with the big shot. Very close game so far. We got to continue playing these guys tight. Good D, good D. Whoa. Okay. What is going on here? What is this? Oh my goodness. Zion. That was a filthy alley-oop. All right, here we go. All right, Baisley bringing it up the floor. He's been a lot more consistent than I ever expected him to be so far in his young career. Wagner. Boom, baby. What a play there. Nice play, nice assist. Oh, don't let Dennis Smith beat you. All right, there we go. There we go. Man, he gets steals a lot. Wagner is constantly getting steals, and there we go. Boom! Boom, boom, boom. Show him how it's done, Jaren Jackson. Show him how it's done. Welcome to the NBA, Zion. All right, no way. He is wide open. He's not missing those. He's not missing those. You know Jimmy Buckets is not missing a wide open three. We cannot let that happen. This team will make us pay if we're not alert at all times. All right, Ja. That's all you, baby. There you go. Green light. All right, if we want to keep this lead, man, we gotta pick up the pace here. See if Ja can't draw a double team here. No. Okay. There we go. No. Okay. That looks better. Nice. Wagner doing his thing, man. Got Jaren Jackson up ahead there running. There we go. Boom! Oh my God. He just caught a body. And it was Zion's. All right. Get on him. Get on him. Oh, what? You just made Wagner look like a midget. All right, it's a 4-point game. Not bad. They got the lead back here. There we go. Oh, and one. And one. Jaren Jackson is just such an amazing, amazing finisher, man. I love it. Yep, just shrug it off. That's all you can do there. All right, here we go. Let's get this thing going. Let's get this thing going. Let's get this lead back there. That's a good start. That's a good start. Ja beating everybody to the hoop that time. 7-point game. 7-point game. We can't let this get out of control. All right, they're trying to pull away here. Danny Green calling for the ball. But Wagner's open. And that's you all day, baby. All day. All right, 4 points now. Getting back to being very, very manageable. All right, the first half went well. We just got to keep this. We got to keep some pace here. Keep the tempo. Not let them pull away. And there we go. Jaren Jackson. All right, so it's back down to a 4-point lead again. Jimmy Butler bringing it up for them. There, look at the steal. Look at the steal. Wagner, get it back. Morant, bang. Come on. There we go. There we go. Early release, but he was wide open. Perfect. Morris, come on, Morris. Got a 1-point lead here. Let's try to keep it. Look at that. Look at that play. Just a beautiful back and forth between Lopez and Monty Morris. All right, defense now. Defense. That's been the pain point for us, is trying to stop these guys. If he'd have hit that, man, I'd have threw my controller. Avery Bradley, shake and bake. Get some. Get some. Myers Leonard is not the guy you want to underestimate. All right, this is, who's this? Ntilikina in the game? Nah. My God, Porter Jr. has done so well with that all game. All right, 1 point game, still extremely, extremely tight. Trey J. All right, let's get it to Lopez. Back to, whoa. Oh my God. Oh my God. That was nice. All right, 1 point lead, man. We got to keep this lead. Got to just try to look at that. Grown man stuff there. That is grown man basketball by Trey J. Giving Zion a little crash course in how to be an NBA power forward. Let's go, Jaren Jackson. All right, let's watch these pick and rolls. Let's watch this switching. All right, there we go. We get a miss. That's what we need. That's what we need. Good defense leads to great offense. And there it is. And one. Let's get it. God, what a shot by Jaren Jackson. All right, complete that three-point play for us. All right, we're up by 6 here, man, early in the fourth. Got to keep this momentum here. We're at home. We should be able to keep some momentum and at least keep this close, even if they do start to make a little bit of a comeback, which is going to start with... Oh, no, he missed it. No, offensive boards killing us again. Block. Block again. Come on. All right, jump ball. All right, not bad. Not bad. Get hyped, Jaren Jackson. 2 blocks. All right, rebound. Get it to Morris. Danny Green, back up to the three-point line. Oh, that's all you. And then Jaren Jackson is right there for the cleanup. Perfect. Perfect. But that should have been Danny Green's 3 there, though. All right. Moutier. Bringing it up the floor. Jaren Jackson on fire. And are you kidding me? Is that a joke? It's got to be a joke, right? This man had 2 defenders draped on him and just straight banged down the hoop. All right, I feel like this is our chance to pull away here. This is our opportunity. We need to take advantage. Bryn, Jaren Jackson, let's get it. Come on. Back to... Very good play. Very, very good play. That was just solid basketball. Jaren Jackson doing very, very well up to this point. 27 points, 7 boards. Butler with the shake and bake. Ah, that should have been a steal. Wagner, you got to get them long arms in there, buddy. No. All right, 2-point lead. All right, he ties it up. Gave up the lead. Oh, thought that was a block. Why? Is this real life? And Butler again. He's going to shoot this, isn't he? Okay, Durant. Oh, what? Seriously? This game has gotten ridiculously ugly, just lightning fast. Okay, we finally score. After like 6 minutes. Well, this one is just about over. After that ridiculous run where we couldn't buy a bucket. Jaren Jackson for 2, I guess. All right. I guess let's try to make it look a little better in the box score here by Brook Lopez. All right. 15-point lead, 6.2 remaining. I think it's pretty well over, right? They'll probably just dribble this out, safe to say. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to dribble it out. And that's the end of regulation, boys. And that got ugly. That got really ugly there in the fourth quarter. If you will remember, we were up by like 8 with like 8 minutes to go, and then didn't score again until there was like 2 minutes to go. So, yeah, they went on a run. I'll have to look this up, but that was probably one of the biggest runs in-game in NBA history. So here is one last look at that horrible beating that the Knicks put on us, as well as that absolute meltdown of a fourth quarter that we had. But as you see, Jaren Jackson, 31-8, 5 blocks. Not a bad game for him. Morant didn't shoot all that well from the field, but he had 16 points, 10 assists, and a really good game from Bazley, who had 12 points, 2 rebounds, an assist, a steal, and a block, all in 12 minutes. As for the Knicks side, the big three were the story here. Obviously, Butler, Durant, and Williamson. And then Michael Porter Jr., he really chipped in big time for them, having 15 points in just 15 minutes. They just, they rebounded well. They were good on their free throws for the most part. So, they just outplayed us altogether, especially in that fourth quarter, where, as you can see, they beat us 36-18. So now what I want to do is take a look at all of the season stats and all that stuff, especially the rookie report, our hashtag add players, player stats, standings, conference standings, all that stuff. But I want to get us a little deeper in the season before we do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to simulate up to the next game that we're going to play, which is going to be against the Los Angeles Lakers here, either on the 17th or the 19th. I haven't decided exactly. I think it'll be on the 19th. I think we're going to play the home game against them. So we're going to simulate up until that point, and I'm going to just really quickly simulate through these games this time. I am going to show the stats, but I'm just going to show them really quickly, kind of just the highlights of them. And we'll start things off here with an away game against the Nets, and we lose to them by 18. Take a quick look here. Looks like D'Angelo Russell had 32 points, 10 boards on us. Morant with 29 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. So that was a really good game for him. Next up, the Rockets. All right, and we lose to them by 23. Morant, another good game, 21 and 9 assists, 2 steals. Next up, another tough matchup against the Sixers. The Rockets offer us Eric Gordon and a first-round pick for Osman and Green. That would be an interesting trade for the simple fact that Danny Green and Osman really aren't getting a whole lot of playing time right now, number one. And then that also gives us a 2021 first-round pick, albeit from the Rockets, which means it'll probably be a low pick, but still it's a pick nonetheless. All right, I'm going to hold off on this trade, because we can always go back to it. I want to get you guys' opinion on this. So, let me know in the comments if this is a trade that you guys think we should do. Osman and Green for Eric Gordon and a 2021 first-round unprotected pick from Houston. Next up, we got the Sixers, and we lose to them by only 8. But let's take a look. Simmons and Morant again. So Morant's doing pretty well. 18 points. 3 rebounds, 9 assists. Jaren Jackson, 18, 4, and 2. Next up, OKC. And we lose to them by 21. Morant with another great game, man. Wow. Next up, Atlanta on a back-to-back. And we beat them by 5 on a back-to-back. So great win there. John Collins with 16 and 13. Jaren Jackson, our leading scorer, with 21 and 7, and then Morant right behind him. Next up, the 76ers again, and we've got back-to-back games again. 2 very tough games against Philly and Milwaukee. And Brook Lopez has bruised his right heel. So that's even more of a reason why we're really going to need Zubats back very soon. All right, so we lose by 5 to the 76ers. So both games against the Sixers were kind of close games. Jaren Jackson with 15, 8, and 3. All right, next up against the 28 and 13 Milwaukee Bucks. All right, so Zubats fully healed. So what a great time for that to happen. So let's get him in there. We'll ease him in, but we want to get him in, right away. All right, so next up, Milwaukee. And we lose to them by quite a bit. Giannis with a 33-point triple-double. What a great game for him. And Morant, 16, 5, 5, 2 steals. Next up, Cleveland. All right, we lose to them by 22. Jaren Jackson with 18 points, Morant with 12. And we've got Cleveland on a back-to-back here, so let's see here. And they beat us again by 9. All right, Derrick Rose, the leading scorer for them. He's having himself a really, really great season. Jaren Jackson with 28 points and 12 rebounds, so a nice double-double there. Next up, the Atlanta Hawks. And we beat them by 3. Good game, good game. Malik Monk, their leading scorer. Jaren Jackson and John Morant, our leading scorers. Next up, the Pacers, who are 25 and 18. This is a very, very good new-look Pacers team, and they beat us by 11. All right, another back-to-back here for us. We got the Hornets up next, and we lose to the Hornets by 16. Next up, the Kings, and we beat the Kings by 5. Okay, nice. Next up, Detroit, and we beat them by 3. Nice. Next up, the Bulls, and we beat the Bulls by 7. Nice. So next up, the Boston Celtics, who have really bounced back. They're 36 and 15 now. They had a rough early season, and we beat them. Oh my God, we beat the Celtics, and it was a pretty convincing win too. Let's see how this went. Morant with 22, 6, and 7. I mean, yeah, it looks like we just played some really, really good D and held them to 92 points. So what a win for us, man. We've been winning some games lately. Next up, we got the Knicks on a back-to-back, which is kind of an odd thing, but let's see how this goes. And we lose the first one. And the second game of a back-to-back, we lose again. All right, we'll stop simulating for the All-Star Draft here real quick. And this is your 2020 NBA All-Star teams. Team LeBron with LeBron himself, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, Kyrie Irving, and Ben Simmons. So not a whole lot different than what he had last season. His reserves are Westbrook, Aldridge, Towns, Doncic, Vucevic, Oladipo, and Mike Conley. On Giannis' side, he's got himself, Steph Curry, Dame Lillard, Nikola Jokic, and DeMarcus Cousins. And his reserves are Harden, Anthony Davis, Chris Paul, Embiid, Russell, Blake Griffin, and Julius Randle. So a nice nod there for Julius Randle making the All-Star team. And another cool addition to the All-Star team there, Mike Conley. So that's a really cool one for him. All right, next up, the Hornets. And we beat them by 4. So, man, we are winning some games lately. Let's take a look. Morant with 34 points, 4 assists. He was 6 of 9 from 3. So, when he does well from 3, man, he's got he's pretty dangerous. He can score a lot. Alrighty, today is the trade deadline. Would you like to stop simulating and make some offers? Yes, I would. Alright, so we're going to stop simming here, even though we are playing the February 19th game against the Los Angeles Lakers. We're going to stop simulating here because I want to get you guys' opinion on a couple of things. So the 2 trades that I'm most interested in and that I want to get you guys' opinions on. Number 1 is this trade that was offered to us by the Rockets. They are still interested in this. Augustine and Danny Green for Eric Gordon and a 2021 first-round pick. This is something that I would most certainly consider doing if you guys liked it. Another one that I was quite interested in was the Portland Trailblazers offering us Montrezl Harrell, Jonathan Gibson for our 2021 first-round pick and Danny Green. So I know you guys, some of you guys have mentioned Montrez in the comments, so that's something that I would certainly at least consider if it's something that you guys like. Now, before we hop into some of the other trade offers that I found to be really intriguing, we're going to take a look at some of the standings and some of the stats. So right off the bat here in the Eastern Conference, you see that the top teams are as follows. The Boston Celtics in first, Orlando Magic in second, which is a big surprise there for me. Milwaukee Bucks in third. The New York Knicks, who we just played, are in fourth. The Indiana Pacers in fifth. Cleveland Cavaliers, another big surprise. They are in sixth place. And rounding out the top 8 in 7th, you got the Brooklyn Nets, and in 8th, you got the Toronto Raptors with the Philadelphia 76ers just on the outside of the picture looking in. In the West, we got the Houston Rockets at the top at 36 and 19. The Lakers in second place, so they're having a good season. Golden State right on their heels in third. The Timberwolves in fourth, and then the big surprise of the conference for me so far, the Suns in fifth place. Then you've got the new look Pelicans in sixth place. And then rounding out the West, you've got the Spurs and the Nuggets in 7th and 8th respectively, and the Clippers right there on the outside looking in. Now let's take a quick peek at some of the league leaders. You got Steph Curry still in first in points per game with 33.8 per. And then the rest of the top 5, not a whole lot of surprises here. Giannis with 28 a game, Lillard, Kawhi Leonard with 26.5 a game, D'Angelo Russell, who's really coming on as a great young scoring point guard. Then you got Trae Young, Porzingis, Booker, LeBron, and Kyrie Irving rounding out the top 10. But now let's take a look at the exciting part, and that's the rookie report, okay? And I also want to take a peek at you guys' hashtag add players today and how some of them are doing. But you see Jarrett Culver still leading the way here in points per game. Cam Reddish right behind him, and then our boy, Ja Morant, in third with 17.3 points per game and 7 assists per game. Then you got Romeo Langford, RJ Barrett, Sekou, Nasir Little, Jackson Hayes, Zion sitting there in 9th place, Kevin Porter Jr., and then that brings us to our first hashtag ad player, Mr. Terrence Romeo, okay, from the Philippines. He's averaging 13.1 points per game and 5 assists for the Orlando Magic. Our next hashtag ad player on the list, Mr. Connor Sullivan with 11.3 points per game and 7.2 assists per game, so he's having himself a hell of a season. Next one, Bobby Sanders, 10.8 points a game for the Hawks. Let's see, where's the next hashtag ad player on the list here? That would be Frank Fullwood, who's actually injured right now. He's got a pinched nerve in his back. He's out for 1 to 2 weeks, but he's averaging almost 8 points a game, almost 3 assists per game, to go along with a steal per game. Right after him, Corey Tyler III, shooting guard for the Raptors. He's averaging about 4 points a game. I don't think he's getting a whole lot of minutes right now. But then we got consecutively here 2 more. Deratio Harvey averaging 3.7 per game, and Bo Bamba averaging 3.7 points per game to go along with 3.4 rebounds per game. These guys aren't getting a whole lot of minutes. Corey Tyler 15 per game, Deratio and Bo Bamba getting about 10 minutes per game. So hopefully, their contributions and their timeshare will grow a lot in the future here. Next, we hop down to the Utah Jazz's young point guard Parker Gast. He hasn't gotten any playing time in the NBA yet, but he's averaging 14.6 points per game in 32 minutes per game in 7 games to go along with 9 assists in the G League. Tag Ames, he has not played at all yet in the G League or in the NBA for Dallas, but I'm hoping that changes in the very near future. So now that we got the stats out of the way, I want to go through and show you guys some of the other trade offers that were on the table for us for this season. Now, this is not something that we have to do this year, but I wanted to at least show these to you guys. And to start things off, the Orlando Magic are willing to part ways with Jonathan Isaac if we give up our 2021 first-round pick and Bryn Forbes. The next one up on the list was Willie Cauley-Stein and Caleb Swanigan for DJ Augustine and Danny Green, which was kind of interesting. Third up, we got a really interesting and intriguing one, Donovan Mitchell and a 2021 second-round pick for our 2020 first rounder and Danny Green. We'd have to rework this one to get some kind of protection on the first round pick because I'm not too keen on giving that pick up. Next up, the Hawks were willing to offer up Mo Bamba and Aaron Baines for Bryn Forbes and Danny Green. The Hawks were also willing to part ways with John Collins and Matthew Dellavedova for Jetty Osman and Bryn Forbes, and this was a trade here that I thought was extremely interesting. Then Karis LeVert was offered up to us for a 2021 first-round pick and Danny Green. A little kind of an interesting trade there. The Kings willing to part ways with Bogdan Bogdanovic for Bryn Forbes and Mo Wagner, but they want us to take on that 3-year contract of DeAndre Jordan. But here's another one that I thought was really super interesting, and that is Lauri Markkanen and Kenrich Williams for a 2020 first-round top 5 protected pick and Danny Green. Now keep in mind, there's a very good chance that we get a top 5 pick in the draft, so that might not convey to them if we were to do something like this. And then they were also willing to do Zach LaVine for the exact same trade, but a top 3 protected first-round pick instead of a top 5 protected pick. And then I had to round things out with this one because this is a guy who's been mentioned multiple times in the comments already, and that is Jamal Murray. So they were offering up Jamal Murray and Frank Mason for Danny Green and our 2020 first-rounder top 3 protected. So, again, these are all trades that I need to get you guys' feedback on. We don't necessarily have to do any of this at this particular trade deadline. This is just, I wanted to kind of get a barometer for what the trade market was like right now, what types of offers teams were making, and these were the results that I was getting with certain variables in the trade finder. But I figured this was a great way to end today's episode, because then that gives you guys free reign to let me know in the comments exactly what you think we should do at the trade deadline here. Should we, pull the trigger on one of these deals? Should we wait until, next season's off season and, weigh out our options then? And again, we might be able to do a smaller deal too. It doesn't have to be one of these big deals like picking up Bradley Beal or going after, Bogdanovich and DeAndre Jordan, or taking on any kind of big money or anything like that. But there were some really, really good offers in here for guys that were actually on pretty reasonable contracts still. But again, like I said, there is a certain element of risk with some of these trades, considering the fact that, they do want our 2020 first round pick. Even though it is protected, that is a pick that we absolutely do not want to be giving up. Because the main thing we got to keep in mind is that with the flattening of the draft lottery odds, it really makes for some very volatile, outcomes with that draft lottery. And the last thing I want to be doing is, trading away a 2020 first round top 5 protected pick and then getting like the 6th pick in the draft or something like that. That would just be the absolute worst case scenario. So that's what we got to think about mainly when we talk about trading away a protected pick. But anyway, that is where we're going to wrap things up today. Please flood the comment section and let me know what you guys think about these trades, because the main thing here is that I am not going to pull the trigger on any of these things until I hear you guys' feedback. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here now so that I can go ahead and start working on episode 16 for you guys, so that I can get that released in the next couple of days. So I hope to see you guys around for that. But until then, I'll catch you guys next time.